please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Well, the market's doing quite well. In fact, now making a move towards the all-time highs on the Sensex and Nifty. Of course, they have been making all-time highs almost on a daily basis. But for the record, this will be a new high if we go past 10,490. The NHPC board has approved amendments which will enable the company to apply to the power regulator CERC for a trading license. This decision is in line with Power Minister's plan to make NHPC an aggregator for meeting the demand of the peaking power. Mahesh Kumar Mittal, Director of Finance and CFO of NHPC, now joins us. Mr. Mittal, good morning. Why this decision to foray into trading, power trading?
Yeah, good morning. Yesterday, our board has taken a decision that NHPC should apply for a trading license because there are certain trading opportunities available in the market which we want to explore and avail. So we will be applying for a trading license shortly. And currently we are examining the provisions of the Electricity Act and the CRC regulations, and we will go for the license.
Mr. Mittal, good morning. What would be different? I mean, there is already an IEX and then there is Power Trading Corporation to do actual trading. What would you offer that would be different and more profitable than these two?
No, we have some trading opportunities, particularly in the hydro sector, which I cannot disclose at the moment.
Okay.
But we have certain power which is available for trading, and that we are going to tie up, and for that we are applying for a trading license.
Okay, tie up with
so
whom?
Other opportunities in the market will also be explored, and we will tie up with the beneficiary DISCOMs.
Okay.
Currently we are supplying power in the northern grid to all the DISCOMs, eastern grid, northeastern grid. So we have a pretty well set up in the commercial division, which is dealing with the power tie-up, and that division will be looking after the power trading issue, and will tie up with the power DISCOMs for trading of power, which will be procuring from the generators.
Okay, what about the basic business of power generation, Mr. Mittal? What kind of targets do you have? The stock listed, of course, about 10 years back. The company hasn't done much over the last 10 years.
You see, we have a robust growth in the profitability. Last year, our profits were in the range of 2,800 crore, and our dividend yield was more than 6%. So that way, if you look at our profits, we are earning profits in the range of 2,500 crore to 3,000 crore, and our earnings have been good, and dividend yield is more than 5% in the last 2 years or so. So that way, the company is doing well in the hydro sector.
Okay. You've got a upgrade from Moody's as well.
Yeah.
What will that mean? Are you able to raise loans cheaper?
Yeah. Certainly, that upgrade will help us to tap the debt from the domestic as well as international market at a better rate. Whenever we go for the new projects in the hydro sector, we'll be able to raise more, better, cheaper money, cheaper funds.
Exactly. Therefore, should we see your interest cost decline as a percentage of total expenses in the second half itself, or what may be the decline in FY19, for instance, in finance cost?
Finance cost by way of reduction in the interest rate will be down by more than 100 crore in the next fiscal year.
Okay.
It will be more than 70 crore this fiscal year and by more than 100 crore next fiscal year.
Okay. Once again, getting back to the power trading business, so what exactly will be the revenue model in terms of how is this going to be only the excess power that you are going to be trading? If you could give us some thoughts on that.
You see, this is just a preliminary discussion yesterday we had in the board meeting, and we are yet to work out the volume of power to be traded. And the trading margins are already fixed by the CRC. and we will see that how much margin we can get in the trading. So volume will be worked out in due course of time. Once we get the trading license, we will work out how much volume we can trade, and that will decide our profitability on the trading side.
Okay. You know, the government has also spoken about a coming hydro policy. Have you any details, anything they discussed with you?
No, there had been discussions in the government, and the hydro policy is under consideration in the ministry, and we can't comment on that at this stage, because this is with the government, and government has of course consulted the hydropower utilities.
Okay. Okay, so you can't give us any idea of what may be brewing.
Yeah. No, ma'am. Okay. Right now, we can't offer any comments.
Okay.
Unless the hydro policy is finalized.
All right. There's another issue that I want to ask you. You know, there are reports that NTPC is looking for some assets from SJVN, Satluj Jal Vidyut Nigam. Are you all looking for any inorganic move at all? Buying up any assets?
No,
okay.
Not right now, ma'am. There is no such proposal for consideration with NHPC.
Okay. What is currently what are the current PLFs at NHPC?
Plant availability factor is in the range of 93%. Normally, hydro sector has a very high plant availability factor in the first 6 months of the fiscal year because of the monsoon. And thereafter, in the next 6 months, it goes down. So currently, we are around 93–94%, and then finally we end up with around 85% by the end of the year.
Okay.
The regulatory norms for us are around 78%.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
This Parbati and Kishanganga, when will they be completed?
Kishanganga will be likely to be commissioned between January and March. This is 330 megawatts. So there are 3 units which will come up, which will be commissioned during January, February, March this fiscal year. And Parbati, 1 unit of 200 megawatt is going to be commissioned in January 2018. And there are remaining 3 units which will be commissioned subsequently once the tunnel work is completed.
Okay. No, I mean, this has been taking the Parbati project has been taking quite some time. Now, wind power, the latest bid has gone at 2.43.
Yeah.
Will this make hydro a little difficult to compete?
Yeah.
To compete with wind power?
You see, yeah, ma'am, hydro power is a peaking power. It's a clean power, peaking power.
Okay.
And in Parbati 2, our volume of power generation is very high, in the range of 1970 million units. And because of the bigger size of the plant, the tariff is going to be reasonable, considering the peaking power. And wind power is not a stable power.
Yeah.
It's not a stable power.
That's right.
So there is a huge difference between the wind power and the hydro power.
Point taken, Mr. Mittal. Yeah. Thanks a lot for your time today, and all the best with this new venture.
The Sensex is speeding towards 33,900. A minute ago, actually, it was 33,885. So I thought the stretch is almost coming. And Bharti Airtel now is coming out and performing. That stock is up 2.1%. So if you look at the contribution chart, many of the big contributors, Maruti has come out and performed, Infosys is performing, TCS is performing, Bharti, all it requires is, I think Reliance is just about 0.3 up. If Reliance were to come and move, then it won't be a very difficult task to take the Sensex to a new high, probably before the Christmas weekend
starts. Only
starts.
problem is the Bank Nifty. Again, you know, you thought maybe today, after the weekly options expiry being out of the way, that will start to move, but that's not happening. So the Nifty Bank is a bit of a problem for the market. HDFC Bank, of course, is not moving. That's, I mean, it's still in the green, but not taking the leadership.
Yeah, not the heavy lifting that it can do because it's such a heavy weight. But let's see what the commodity space is doing and whether it will provide some impetus to equities as well. Manisha Gupta joins us with a roundup of the first trends in the commodity space. Manisha.
Thank you so much for that, Lata. Considering the fact that even as the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ will continue to work till 4 p.m., which is their regular time, the commodity markets in the US will start shutting early, and the metal markets in UK and Europe, etc., are shut on Monday and Tuesday as well. And then, of course, 1st Jan, the global markets are shut. So today is the time when you will see a lot of profit taking to begin with. The volumes are thinning, and most of the commodities in the global markets are trading in the red. Starting with the crude oil prices, and even as the global glut situation is the global glut actually is dwindling. You have seen prices take a lot of support from that, but it's nowhere near what we saw in the previous year in sense of 45% of gains. We are closing this year with a modest 12% of gains for the crude oil prices, and even with that 0.25% decline that we have seen come in for the markets, we still are trading at a 2-week highs and very close to 2-year highs for the crude oil prices. The gold and silver, of course, haven't had so much of a luck. The second half of this year has seen a constant decline. Even as this week started on a positive note, we don't seem to be closing it like that. And 0.1% of decline is what you have seen here. Even as the US dollar has been quite steady, these markets really haven't been able to take much cues from that. The base metal prices, even as we have seen every day of this week gain, today it has all gone in for a profit taking. Even as the LME and the Shanghai markets are trading steady to slightly marginally in the green, the Indian prices clearly have seen 0.5% of a decline come in across board. But this is exactly what you will see across time zones as Europe and the US markets start again. But when you come to the trading strategies, we have them from ComTrends, and they are advocating a buy on all of those dips for the intraday markets for these commodities. For the gold prices, they suggest a buy with a target of 28,750 on the higher side. They also have a buy call for energy and the industrial metals. For crude, the upside targets come to 3,780, and ComTrends also have a buy in case of copper, where they are looking at targets of 460 rupees per kg on the higher side.